turn away, verse 17, so that thou wilt not hear, but shalt be drawn away and worship other gods, and serve them. I denounce unto you this day that you shall surely perish, and that you shall not prolong your days upon the land, whether thou passes over Jordan to go to possess it. I call heaven and earth, record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessings and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both you and your seed may live, that you may love Elohim Yah, and thou mayest obey his voice, and that thou mayest cleave unto him. For he is your life. I like that. For he is your life, and the length of your days, that you may dwell in the land which Elohim swore to your fathers, to Abraham, Isaac, and to Jacob the cove, to give them. And I stop right there. Verse 19. Therefore choose life, that both your seed may live, that I have set before you life and death, blessings and cursing. I have called heaven and earth to record this day against you. That's what Musa said to his children in Israel. I record you this day in Shanarim, blessings and cursings, life or death, good or evil. Those are consequences that he was telling them. If you hear Yah's word and do them, life, blessings. But if you do the works as the land that you're in, with the people that serve those other gods and their ways, it'll be evil, death, curses. But there was consequences. But we already know when you read, go to the book of Judges, you can see that what happened. They went back to the world, and Yah put curses on them. But when they repented, they started doing good, they started eating the good of the land. There were blessings. It works both ways. There's consequences of what you do. And it's still the day to day. If you do good in the land and worship Yahuwah and follow his laws, statutes, commandments, and precepts, there's blessings. And you're going to reap the blessings. And there's everlasting life. And that's what we work for today. We ain't working just for to live long in this life. We already know everybody's going to die in this life. 100 years going to be dead. But we're looking for the life to come. And we're looking to live in the millennium, where we live forever. Where we can go to the new moon, and Shabbat, and live for eternal with Yahuwah. And that's the days that we live for. That's only for his children for obedience. And like I said, like we read last night, the ones that say the Lord delay his time and start eating and drinking and getting drunk, he's going to leave with the unbelievers. And one of the believers going to the lake of fire. Going to the lake of fire. Let's go to Revelations. It's a new one. Y'all gave me in my spirit. Let's see if I can find it. Verse 17. And he rocked, and the bride says, come, and let him that says come, and let him that the thirst come, and whosoever will, let him take the water of life freely. For I testify to every man that hears the words of the prophecy of this book. If any man shall add unto these things, Yah shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. And if any man shall take away from the diary of this book, of this prophecy, then Yah shall take away his part out of the book of life and out of the conditioned city, and from the things which are written in this book. And he testified, in which he testified these things, saying, should I come quickly? You know, and I start right there. The book. He testified to things. You add to his book or take it from his book. You know, you take your life out of that book of life and out of the city, this city. Or you say you have these curses and things are in this book. Like I said, there's consequences. Yeshua was talking about. A lot of people want to add to the book, like we was talking about, saying about Sundays. They don't add it to the book, man. Sunday is a Shabbat day. We already know that's a lot. They add it to the book, man. They don't change the name up. You know, Jesus, Yeshua. They added to the book. They added to the name. They're worshiping a title. You know, they're saying a title instead of his namesake. Why? Give you examples. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 12. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 12 first. Verse 5. And then you have forgotten exhortation which speaketh up to you as to children, my son. Despise not the chastising of Elohim, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. I like that, nor faint. That word faint again, when thou art rebuked of him. For whom Elohim loveth, he chastiseth, and he scourges every son whom he receiveth. Every son, he scourges. Dang, I just seen that. And he scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. So every son that we're going to get scourged, man. You like it or not, you're going to get it, man. If you endure chastising, Yah deals with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chastiseth not? But if you be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then you are bastards and not sons. Furthermore, you have had fathers of our flesh, which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of the rocks and live? For they verily for a few days chastise us after their own pleasures, but he for our profit, that we might be partakers of his holiness. Now no chastising for the present seemeth to be joyous, but grievous. Nevertheless, afterward it yields the peaceable fruits of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby. All right. I like that I'm using as the chastising as the consequences that we get. Yah does that for a minute so we can bring the peaceful fruits, in us. Yah wants us to make it to Shamarine. He just don't want us to be cast out to the lake of fire, man. That's what Satan wants us to believe in, that we had no good thing, we worthless, that we should not even go to Shamarine. He want to talk about our flesh, but we talk about the inward man. He restored the inward man. Through Yeshua, our inward man are restored. So he has to chastise us through the flesh, so the inward man can be restored back to righteousness. And like I said, the flesh and blood should not inherit the kingdom of Yah. We know that. But if it's coming out of our flesh, that means the inward man is wicked already, if it's coming out in our flesh already. If you commit a fornication, it's already in your thought in your heart to commit fornication. If you're doing idolatry, like we been talking about the beginning of Shabbat to the end of Shabbat, it's already in your mind. It's already coming out of your flesh. It's already in your mind to think about doing that already. That's why he rebukes us. He chastises us through the flesh, so we may change, that we repent, that we will have a conscience to do good, a mindset to do right, a mindset to refrain from doing evil, to run to do evil, to change our wicked ways, to forsake our wicked ways, to turn to do good, to Yah may pardon us. Yah may have mercy on us. That's why he chastises us. So there's consequences what we're doing. But that's why he chastises us when we do those consequences, the consequence that we have. People think it's evil. That's why he says don't faint when you get chastised. Don't give up. Yah has given you another chance to repent, to turn from your wicked ways. People just say when they faint, they just quit. I can't never get right. And they stop doing the thing, and they have a chance to turn from their wicked ways and cry out to Yahuwah, where Yahuwah will heal you. That's why he's talking about chastising. You think about when your father used to chastise you and you got beat, tore up in your butt and everything else. Then you turn and you don't do those things no more. Why can't we do that to Yahuwah? You know what I'm saying? When he chastised for our fornication, our adultery, our same-sex marriage, our abortions. There's people that have done 3 or 4 abortions already. Your first abortion, you know, is wrong. It should have been done it. That should be it. Now you back here sleeping around, having and getting pregnant again. Now you run into the abortion clinic, man, kill another child. How many abortions did you have? Some of them got 3 to 5 already. 6 already.
They know your name.
That's bad when they know your name. Call you by your first name and having a great conversation with you in an abortion clinic. That's shameful. That you're murdering y'all's children. You're murdering the creation of y'all. You're taking the breath of life out of them. You're living souls, and you playing y'all himself, giving life and giving death. Who gives you that right again? You change again. But again, I'm talking about chastising. What y'all was talking about. If verse 7, if you're chastising, y'all deals with you as with a son. For what son is he whom the father chastises not? But if you be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are you bastards and not a son. That means you don't have a father. You don't have a father that you can look to and guide you and teach you. You don't listen to. We already know Yah is our Father. He's our Abba. So we don't mind, because like I said, when you come in this thing, you're not perfect. That's why he says he scourges everyone, every son. Because you will come into this house, like we said in this house, Yahuwah has laws, statutes, commandments. You might not know his laws, that's why you will get chastised. Just like that little baby growing up. You don't see going near the stove. That stove, the eye is hot. The baby don't know that. But he gets chastised. He gets his hands tore up. Don't go near it. And then when his hands don't touch it, the hands got burnt, got blisters, 3rd degree burns. Now there's a scar. There's consequences. But before that baby got burnt, that baby got tore up. With the hands, with a ruler, slapped in the hands a couple of times. Pop, 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 pop. Don't go near that. For a reason. Chastise. And just like here, Yahuwah chastised us because you are a babe in Yah. I don't care how old you is, 23, 44, 88 years old, coming as a child in Yah. You got to learn. He scourges every son. He's going to teach him, every son, what's right and what's wrong. Because he loves you. He wants to bring the peaceable fruits out of you so you can be used. We talk about vessel of honor. He always wants us to be a vessel of honor, not a vessel of dishonor. He don't want you bringing in hay, wood, and stubble. He wants you to bring in gold, silver, precious metals, precious stones. That's what y'all wants you to bring. Let's talk about some consequences. Let's go talk about David real quick. 2 Samuel chapter 12. We already know what happened to King David when he went into Bathsheba. And what happened. Since he did that, it was consequences. We know adultery was death. But David did not die. But somebody else died in his place. David was supposed to die that day. But he's after Yah's own heart. A man after Yah's own heart. Why was a man of Yah's heart? He repented. He repented from his evilness. And Yah forgave him from his evilness. But when Yah said, hey, there's still consequences in the flesh. He got forgiven in the spirit. But the flesh, there's fleshly things, he got to take care of that. He got to pay for what he done did. Consequences. For sleeping with, what's her name? Bathsheba. I was going to call her Jezebel. Forgive me, man. Bathsheba and killing her husband, Uriah the Hittite, with the Ammonite sword, arrow. And it goes right here, 2 Samuel chapter 11, verse chapter 12, verse 11. Says Elohim, behold, I will rise up evil against you out of your own house, and I will take your wives before your eyes and give them to the neighbors, and he shall lie with your wives in the sight of this son. For thou didst secretly, I will do this thing before all Yisrael and before the sun. He said he's going to do this for all. You said you did this evil secretly? I will do this thing before all Yisrael, before the sun. Sun be shining on the earth. For everything from the sun to the earth is going to see this. Evil. Consequences. Because you did this in secret, I will show you what I'm going to do. Evil will come out your house. The first evil that came out of his house. When Ammon wanted his sister, Tamar, they were sisters. We already know that. Sisters and brothers. Brothers and sisters. We already know the Leviticus. You cannot look at your sister's skirt. Raise the skirt. You already know that. You already know that. He lusted for her. Okay? And by this, he raped her and slept with her. Let's go to chapter 13. Verse 11. Here's verse 10. And Ammon said unto Tamar, bring the meat unto the chamber, that I may eat of thy hand. And Tamar took the cakes which she had made, and brought them into the chamber of Ammon her brother. And when she had brought them unto him to eat, he took hold of her, and said unto her, come lie with me, my sister. My sister, come lie with me, my sister. And she answered him, nay, my brother. So she was right. She said, no, do not force me. She was right. That says that in law. For no such thing ought to be done in Yisrael. Do not thou this folly. Do not this folly. And where shall I cause my shame to go? He's talking about where's my shame. And as for you, you shall be as one of the fools in Yisrael. That's right, you'll be one of the fools of Yisrael. Now, therefore, I pray you, speak unto your king, and he will not withhold me from you. She was talking about doing it the right way. If you want me that bad, go to the king. Howbeit, he would not hearken to her voice, but being stronger than she, forced her and laid with her. And Haman hated her exceedingly, so that he hated her wherewith he hated her was greater than the love wherewith he had loved her. And Haman said unto her, arise, be gone. And she said unto him, this is no cause. She said unto him, this is no cause. This evil is sending me away is greater than the other than that thou didst unto me. But he would not hearken to her. See, there's both evils right there. Verse 17. Then he called his servant, the minister, unto him, and said, put now this woman out from me, and bolt the door after her. And she had a garment of diverse colors upon her, for with such robes were the king's daughters that were virgins of pearl. Then his servant brought her out, and bolted the door after her. And Tamar put ashes on her head, and rent her garment of her diverse colors that was on her, and laid her hand on her head, and went out, and went on crying. And Absalom her brother, and said to her, has Ammon thy brother been with thee? But hold now your peace, my sister. Is he your brother? Regard this thing. Regard not this thing. So Tamar remained desolate in her brother's Absalom's house. All right. But when King David heard all this thing, he was wroth. And verse 22, and Absalom spoke unto his brother Ammon, neither good nor bad, for Absalom hated Ammon because he had forced his sister Tamar. So Ammon, think about that. And we're going to go on to the next part what Absalom did. But this is where I'm talking about the evil or the consequences of King David. Come on, that's perverseness right there already.
Generational curses.
Generational curse started already. It said the evil will come out of your household, your own household. Evil. Okay, this is the first evil. Ammon raped his sister. And the wisdom of Tamar. Don't do this, folly in all Israel. So you'll be one as a fool. That's sin. Fool. She already told him what was going to happen if you do this thing. But Ammon did not hearken anyway. He had to have it. You know what I'm saying?
Just like David.
Just like David. Forced her, but Bathsheba wasn't forced.
No, but you know what
I know. No, David used his kingdomship to force Bathsheba. You know what I'm saying? You ain't going to neglect a king. Come on, a king tell you to do so, you're going to do it. Like it or not. That's what he used that. But Ammon forced him, brought evil out. That's what I'm talking about. That's the consequences. His house is already messed up now. Don't you think everybody going to talk about that? The whole Yisrael knew about that. Now you got hatred in your household. Bitterness, hatred, Absalom. Bitterness now. Ammon was supposed to die. But guess what Ammon did? Ammon went to another land to take care of the sheep. Right here. It says right here, verse 24. And Absalom came to the king and said, behold, wait, I'm sorry. See if I can find it. Verse what is it? 23. And it came to pass after 2 full years that Absalom heard the sheep shearer in Balahazar, which is beside Ephraim, and Absalom invited all his king's sons. No, Ammon went somewhere. I was talking about
34.
34. But Absalom fled, the young man that kept the watch.
No, Ammon fled. 34 to Absalom. Yeah, that's the one that Absalom fled. I think he's talking about Ammon fled.
Okay. I'm gonna start right there, but I'm gonna go right here where Absalom. This was Absalom right here, verse 26. Then said Absalom, is not I pray thee, let my brother Ammon go with us. And the king said unto him, why should he go with you? But Absalom pressed him that he let Ammon and all the king's sons go with him. For now Absalom had commanded his servants, saying, mark you now, when Ammon's heart is merry with wine, and when I say unto you, smite Ammon, then kill him. Fear not. Have not I commanded you? Be courageous and be violent. And the servant of Absalom did unto Ammon as Absalom had commanded. Then all the king's son rose, and every man got him up upon his mule and fled. And it came to pass, while they were in the way, the tidings came to David, saying, Absalom has slain all the king's sons, and there is not one of them left. Then the king rose, tear his garments, and laid on the earth, and all his servants stood by with their clothes rented. And Jonadab, the son of Shimei, David's brother, answered and said, let not my lord suppose that they have slain all the young men, the king's son, for Ammon only is dead. For by the appointment of Absalom, this has been determined for the day that he forced his sister Tamar. And that's what I want to talk about in verse 32. That's why Absalom said, know everything's good and evil. Don't worry about it. And Absalom said, I got this. That was already business right there, man. That from that time until that time was like 2 years afterwards, he had that bitterness in his heart. It's evilness that he's going to take out Ammon. He already had a way. That's why he said the sheep shearer. Let Ammon and all the king's son come. He had a plan. And he told his servants, he already had it marked out. When Ammon's already drunk, take him out. I'll give you the sign. And that's what they did. They took him out. And that's why You know, Jonadab, he already planned that too. If you look at him, he's the one that told Tamar already, told Amnon to go sleep with Tamar already. The range that tell you that you're sick in bed, and just tell Tamar to come with some cakes and eat. And then David didn't know. And he told Tamar, go ahead and do that. And then, like I said, Abraham forced his sister. Set up. That was from David's brother. Son. Well, I got to read that. But it was already arranged to do that. Time he was sick for his sister, he got it happen. That's evilness, man. But I already gonna tell you, that's consequences for King David. Now, if King David would have did right and ruled his house right, his kids would not have to suffer all that. The consequences of his children and to his children's children. What happened to King Solomon? He put verse 2, he had 1,000 wives, all that, and changed the evil and all the demons and stuff got in his mind, doing all wicked. Then his son, Rehoboam, whatever his name, was wicked too. They were saying, take all the taxes off us. He said, no. He said, my dad was saying, I'll be like a scorpion. I'll be more worse than he is. You read that one. You know what I'm saying? Those consequences going down. That's the third and fourth generation. Let's go to, yeah, let's go to, I'm still going to continue on that with Absalom too. We already read that a while back when Absalom tried to take over the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? It rose up evil. Now you running out your own household because your son wants the kingdomship. You know, he come treason. He got people now ready to kill you. Your own father? You know what I'm saying? That's happening today. I think that's a new thing now. The kids want to kill their mother and father. But think about Absalom. Was trying to take the kingdomship from David. And the way you can take the kingdomship with David is to kill your own father. You know, then sleep with his own chambermaids, his concubines. You know, and that was consequences too. I hated that. And he slept with them. Then when he came back and got the kingdom, he shut the door. They would never, he couldn't go into them no more. They'll foul. They stayed like that until the day they died. Consequences going on around here, man. Everybody got to pay for what you done did. And we talked about Achan, trouble, his consequences, man. Achan, the whole household had to die and burn up, got stoned and burned up. Because he was over the Babylonian garments and the silvers in the bars and everything, and hid it under the tent.
Had sticky fingers.
I'm trying to tell you, there's consequences with things that you do. Why do people got to go through things because you did it? You know? That's wrong, man. It means you're selfish. You don't care about nobody else. People got to die and get hurt because of your wrongness. That's what happens. That's why David was grieved. That's why he was hurt. You know? Because his kids were all going because of his mess up. The young baby that died, the first child he had from Bathsheba died. Consequences. Couldn't have that baby living because they're going to be talking about that. Oh, you the baby of King David, man. He's the kid with adultery now. They would have started mocking him. You know what I'm saying? And that was evil in the land. Oh, man. You a baby of a whoredom. They would start talking about that. And that would be a bad example for everybody else because they will be doing the thing. Oh, if King David did, that means we could do it. You know, the baby had to die. I hate to say that, but y'all had to stop that. Because we know Yahuwah is a just Yah. He's just and righteous. But there was consequences. You think Bathsheba hated that, man? Any child, a true mother, lose a child. We already know that. They don't lose no child because it's attached to them. And then she lost her firstborn because of the consequences of King David. And her consequences, because she could have stood. She might have to die, but she could have stood. You know what I'm saying? Another one, Ashti. That's what we're talking about. Where Hairston. Talking about, come on to the banquet and show your beauty. You know? She said, I ain't going up there. I'm queen. You know what I'm saying? Consequences. What? She get booted out of the Persia, of the realm. And another one comes up, and Esther takes her place. Bring all the fair virgins of the Persians and see which one we get to be Arterius. And she got kicked out with all this stuff, and she gone, man, out of providence, man. Consequences, man. Because all she had to do is come and show her beauty, keep her mouth shut, put her nice stuff on, and shine, pose a little bit, with a little gleam, with all the jewelry, with a little crown, come, show face, and leave. That's all she had to do. But she had so much pride, consequences of pride, got booed out. Now she's the lowest of the lowest. She ain't no royalty. She nothing but dirt. Now they got a decree. And I like this decree too. They had to do that because they would not do that, kick her out, all the women would go against their men. Think about that. I'm trying to tell you, there's consequences that do stuff like that. Consequences when you do stuff like that. Okay? I'm writing these things down, TV land, so you can go ahead and find the concordance. And all these little stories I'm telling you, I want you to look them up. Another one, Reuben. When Jacob's concubine was that? Bela, right? They found that out, man. Reuben, he was the firstborn. Lost it. Now who gets it next? Judah got it. Why did Judah got it? That's 4. You got Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah.
And it ain't leaving Judah.
Why Simeon and Levi ain't get it? Because the covenant, the circumcision covenant. That's the reason why. Reuben had it. Why did Reuben get it? Because he went in the couch, the bed of your coat. He went in to see his father's skirts. Read Leviticus chapter 18 and 19. It'll tell you right there. There was a laws back in the days. You don't do that. Okay? He done lost, man, the spiritual blessings, man, of the head. It goes firstborn. It was already down to Judah already, man, which we already knew you had it either way. Y'all do it either way. Praise. Why Yahusha came out of there. I'm trying to say the consequences, man. Consequences. Birthrights. Now you talk about birthrights. What about Esau? He wept for his. He cried for his. Talking about, I'm about to die. I'm about to perish. Give me that red pearl. Give me that red pottage. Some lentils. I'm about to die right now. And your code says, hey, some of your birthright, Holmes. What's good as a birthright when I'm about to die? What? So he says, swear to me. When you swear to God. You got to swear to God, man. He swore. He said he wept bitterly for that thing. Because he left his birthright and his blessings. There's consequences now. Now everything he had to fight for it. There you go. He got to fight everything. He got to shoot. He got to kill everything. I'm talking about consequences again, man. Consequences. Let's talk about Eli. Come on. 1 Samuel. Eli. Chapter 22. Chapter 2, verse 22.
Chapter 2.
Now Eli was very old. Chapter 2, verse 22, right? Eli was very old and heard all that his sons did unto all that Yisrael, and how they laid with the women that assembled at the door of the temple, how they laid when they were getting on.
Boy, Zion, boy.
You talk about priests. The priest's sons. But if your father priest, that means you was going to be a priest.
You was born from that.
You know what I'm saying? And they laid with the women that assembled at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. That's how they got it, man. They were making profit off the temple for themselves. And he said unto them, why do you such things? For I heard your evil dealings by all these people. Everybody was telling what you was doing. Nay, my sons, for there's no good report that I hear. You make the Elohim's people to transgress. If one man sin against another, the judge shall judge him. But if a man sin against Elohim, who shall entreat for him? Notwithstanding, they hearken not unto the voice of their father, because Elohim will slay them. They already knew. Alright? And the child Samuel grew on and was a favorite both with Elohim and also with man. And there came a man of Yah unto Eli. A man of Yah come to Eli and said unto him, thus says Elohim, did I plainly appear unto the house of your fathers when they were in Egypt in Pharaoh's house? And did I choose him out of all the tribes of Yisrael to be my priest, to offer upon my altar, to burn incense, to wear ephod before me? And did I give unto the house of your father all the offerings made by fire of the children of Yisrael? Wherefore kick you at my sanctuary, at my sacrifice, Wherefore kick you at my sacrifice and at my offering, which I have commanded in my habitation, and honest your son above me, and honest your sons above me, and make yourselves fat with the chiefest of all the offerings of Yisrael my people. That's it. Verse 30. The prophet has came. Verse 30. Wherefore Elohim Yah of Yisrael said, I said indeed that your house and the house of your father shall walk before me forever. But now Elohim said, be it far from me. For them that honor me I will honor, and they that despise me shall be lightly esteemed. Behold, the day come that I will cut off your arm and the arm of your father's house, that there shall not be an old man in your house, and you shall see an enemy in your habitation, and all the wealth which Yah shall give Yisrael, and there shall not be an old man in thy house forever. And the man of your whom I shall not cut off from my altar shall be consume your eyes, and to grieve your heart, and all the increase of your house shall die in the fire of their age. And this shall be a sign to you, that you shall come unto your sons, Hophni and Phinehas, and one day they shall die, both of them. And I will rise me up a faithful priest that shall do according to that which is in my heart, and in my mind, and I will build him a sure house, and he shall walk before my anointed forever. And it shall come to pass that everyone that is left in your house shall come and crouch to him for a piece of silver and a morsel of bread, and shall say, put me, I pray you, into one of your priest's office, that I may eat a piece of bread. All right. That was a prophecy to Eli. And I like that. Out of the mouth of 2-3 witnesses, every word be established. And this is because they kicked against Yahusha's sacrifice. We already knew who kicked against it. It was Eli's son. Like you said, they were making wealth on it. They were making a high thing for themselves. They were making fat of it. They would get fat off of y'all's sacrifice. All right? Okay, there's consequences on that. What is the consequences? Because Eli didn't do nothing about his sons. Eli, like I said, did not chastise his sons. He told about them, but he didn't say nothing, but he let them keep on doing the same thing. He kept on making the children of Israel sin. They made children transgress against y'all's sacrifices. because they hated it. You're supposed to be loved to go to the house of Yah, to sacrifice to the house of Yah, the offerings to Yah. You're supposed to love to come to the Shabbat church to praise Yah, to seek His face. I should not make y'all sin, hate to come to the house of Yah. You know, that's what the priests are doing today, especially on the Sunday church. You know, we were just talking about them, all those high preachers like Creflo Dollar and Jesse Duplantis and all these other ones talking about money here and money there. And money, and they got mansions and houses and 4 or 5 cars and great suits, and they got money everywhere they can go. Sleep in motel rooms, and their wives dressed up lively, nice and stuff like that. And the kids,
5-star motel.
Okay, 5 stars. They're eating filet mignon and everything else. And the kids are dressing up, going to private schools, and got nice cars and everything else. But your congregation is barely struggling, barely getting their bills paid, electricity getting turned off, missing the house note. The house is getting repossessed. House get mortgage, getting the house taken away from them. And don't tell me that none of these preachers don't talk about their houses they're not getting taken from, or they lost their cars. They got doctor bills they cannot pay. You know, tell me I can name one by one. Tell me if I will keep my mouth shut. Talking about these preachers I'm talking about. If everybody in your congregation is taken care of, not one of them lost their mortgage in their house. Not one of them lost their cars, repossessed. I'm talking about the faithful members in your church. Faithful ones that have been there 5 to 10 years to 20 years. Faithful of paying their tithes and offerings to you. Tell me that one. I bet you I can find 1 to 5 people that lost the mortgage on their house, that lost their car, can't pay the doctor bills, the sick, can't go to the dentist because they ain't got the money to get a tooth pulled or nothing. They got a toothache, they got their mouth messed up and everything, can't eat their food right, can't pay for the medical bills and stuff like that, medicines that they need. And you got a $64 million plane. Talk about I need another one. You got other planes. You got motels. You got a mansion that you're living in, and you got people in your congregation that's struggling. I speak on that one. That's what y'all put in my spirit right there. That one's got mortgages, got houses took it away. They're sleeping out on the streets. They're in your congregation because they're scared. They can't share it with nobody because they're embarrassed. And you up here in your fine suit, your wife looking all fine and all dressed up, your kids got all clothes, going to all these Princeton schools and Harvard schools and everywhere else. What about the kids in the same sanctuary that you go to? Where they go to school at? I'm just speaking. Talk about I need another $64 million. But like I said, there's consequences coming. There are going to be some consequences. You talking about TDJ, what, 15, what you worth, 15 trillion, 50 million? What are you talking about?
16 million.
50 million? That's what he's worth?
16 million.
Okay. I used to watch TD Jakes, man, that congregation. I bet you I can find there's a couple of people in there that lost their house already with that $15 million. I bet you out of that $15 million, you could have saved that house from being bankrupt, man, for that house being taken. Could at least pay a couple of notes, get them out of the jam. At least pay 3 months. What's that? $800 note? $1,000 note? What's that? $3,000 to you. Your $15 million.
Tax write-off.
I knew about tax write-off.
The interest that he makes is paying more than that.
I'm trying to say, help your congregation out. Your people. I'm talking from the books of Acts. Everybody had common. Everybody had land. That's Acts chapter 2. If you're talking about New Testament. Acts chapter 4. If you're talking about New Testament. Everybody worked together. But now, you got $15 million and your congregation's dying. When we talk about consequences, let's go to, let's see what,
It's a consequence of following them.
Well, that said, Yeshua said that. Both of y'all fall in the ditch. Blind lead the blind. And both of y'all fall in the ditch. If you both fall in the ditch, you're dead. That's why I said, man, you got the old boy from the Houston one. What's his name? The white dude? Joel Osteen, man, talking about a hurricane come, you want to shut his doors, man.
Hurry, shut the doors.
You got a Coliseum. Coliseum with a basketball big enough for a football. Could house up the whole neighborhood. The whole Houston area. You got to put everybody across there. And, put one side for the man side, one side female side. And you want to let people sleep on the floor or what? If I had a house, I would have stepped on the floor. At least I have a roof over my head. But you want to shut the door and run. That was your chance to preach to everybody. You got that right. If it was me, I would have, everybody came, then I would have had all these big speakers, I would have straight preached to you. I would have got you, dude. I ain't no chance. You come and eat my food, then the congregation and stuff, I would have got you then. Well, yeah, you want to come up in here and sleep? I got you a whole week, 2 months. I would preach the gospel of Yeshua to you. You would have got this. Shabbat day, if you won't keep the Shabbat, you got to get out. But I bet they would have stayed too. They didn't have nowhere to go. I would have fed you, clothed you. I would have talked about Yeshua too. You would have stayed too. Let me stop playing.
Joe was like, Noah, close the gate.
I think a big Coliseum, I look at that thing, man. You got rows of people, man.
It's huge.
It's big. And I said this.
40,000 people.
All you got to do is get a blanket, a little mat, and a cover. I had when I was in jail. That would have sufficed. That would have paid everybody a mat. 50 million for pay for all that. Ishmael, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? T.D. Jakes right down there, and then, you know what I'm saying? Then you got Jimmy DePlatis, man, right there in Louisiana, and you got Clefo Dollar, where he's at? He's down in what?
Atlanta.
New York? Where he at now? Atlanta. That way, got the money together. And buy everybody a mat, a blanket, a pillow. And feed them, man, till everybody get restored, man. Think about that, man. That would have been cool, yo. Think about that. A place to stay.
That would have meant that they lose their money.
They would have got it back. We've been smart about it, man. You put an offshore account, what you got? They think they slick. They ain't tell nobody, man. They got the money in an offshore account, man. The money's doubling. They ain't telling nobody. See, I know. I'm a businessman, but I know it already, man. Think they slick, man. They got money overseas, man. They ain't told nobody. Come on, they ain't that stupid. The money is root of all evil. Love the money. Thank you, sir. See what Samuel said in his dream. When Samuel first seen Yah. Chapter 3. Verse 9. Therefore Eli said unto Samuel, Go lie down, and it shall be, if he call you, and y'all shall say, Speak, Elohim, for thy servant heareth. So Samuel went and laid down in this place. And Elohim came and stood, called as at other times, Samuel, Samuel. Then Samuel answered, Speak, for thy servant heareth. And Elohim said unto Samuel, Behold, I will do a thing in Israel, at which both the ears of every one that hears it shall tingle. And that day I will perform against Eli all things which I have spoken concerning his house. When I begin, I will also make an end. And I have told him that I will judge his house forever. Judge his house forever. For the iniquity which he had known. See, the iniquity that he had known. Because his sons made themselves vile. And he restrained them not.
Yep.
And therefore I have sworn unto the house of Eli, that the iniquity of Eli's house shall not be purged with sacrifice nor offering forever. And that's crazy. Forever. And Samuel laid until the morning and opened the door of the house of Elohim. And Samuel feared to shew Eli the vision. And Eli called Samuel and said, Samuel, my son. And he answered, Here am I. And he said, What is the thing that Elohim has said unto you? I pray you, hid it not from me. Y'all do so to you, and more also if you hide anything from me of all the things that he said unto you. And Samuel told him every whit, and hide nothing from him. And he said, Is it the Elohim? Let him do what seems good. All right, verse 18. And Samuel told him every whit, and hid nothing from him. And he said, this is what Eli said, it is Elohim. Let him do what seems him good. I don't understand stuff like that. After you know you just got chastised, and after you know what Samuel told what Elohim going to do, you know what I'm saying? And what the prophet said, what it seems good, I would be repenting again. He said forever. This house will be done forever. This is the consequences what Samuel did when one prophet came and told him. You know, he gave a chance. But since he said he didn't restrain his son, this is the second time out of the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses that word be established. Out of a young boy's mouth, Samuel, out of a vision, of a dream, a vision, what Samuel got from Yah, is going to accomplish. He's going to finish what he's going to say we're going to do to Eli's house. For the consequences for the priesthood. Same with us. Same thing with us. We are priests in our household. TV land, if you don't teach your children, you know what I'm saying? Your household is going to die. From you and your children, going to die. You'll be no one stop. Who they going to teach? Sure ain't going to teach their children. You know what I'm saying? If you don't teach your children, who's going to teach your children? They're going to die. Then their children are going to die. And it goes on, revolving door. Round and round and round. Die, die, die. The lake of fire died. Die, 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 lake of fire died. That's what's happening. Eli had a chance. He had a chance to tear his sons up. Take them out of the priesthood. You know what I'm saying? Stone them, whatever he had to do. But he didn't restrain his sons, man. They kept on making the Israel sin. They kept making the Israel hate the sacrifice. They hate coming to the temple because they know their sons were making money off of them. They know their sons were sleeping with other women. You know what I'm saying? As they come and make a sacrifice, they made them sleep with them. Then the women hated coming. Some of them were virgins. Shame. I'm trying to say there's consequences. Consequences. Let's go one more. We're going to talk about, we'll go back to 2 Samuel chapter 15. We're going to talk about Shimei. This is time when Absalom was trying to take over the throne. When David was rushing to get out of Jerusalem, Shimei was cursing him, man. You know what I'm saying? You hear cursing the king, man. Who you, man? I know he was from the house of Saul already, man. But Saul is gone, man. King of Saul, but he still had some Benjamites still around. You know, there's still some around that couldn't stand David, King David. And I don't know why, man. As King David was still humble and everything. Let's see if I can find the scriptures, man. When David's running out, chapter 15. Chapter 15. 13,
David flees.
Yeah. Okay. I had it right here. I just wrote the chapter down. I didn't write down the verse. I should have written down the verse. I was rushing. But I definitely want to talk about it. Is all right, chapter 16, verse 8. Verse 4. 2 Samuel chapter 16, verse 4. Then said the king of Ziba, said the king to Ziba, behold, thou art all that pertaineth unto Mephibosheth. And Ziba said, I humbly beseech you that I may find grace in thy sight, O Elohim king. And when king came to Baron, thence came out a man out of the family of the house of Saul, whose name was Shimei, the son of Gera. he came forth and cursed still as he came. He cast stones at David, and at all the servants of King David. And all the people and all the mighty men were on his right hand and on his left. And thus said Shimei when he cursed, come out, you bloody man, thou man of Baal. And Elohim have returned unto you all the blood of your house of Saul, in whose stead thou hast reigned. And Elohim hath delivered the kingdom into the hand of Absalom, your son. And behold, thou art taken in thy mischief, because thou art a bloody man. And then said Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, unto the king, why should this dead dog curse my lord the king? Let me go over, I pray you, and take off his head. And the king said, what have I to do with you, you son of Zeruiah? So let him curse, because Elohim has said unto him, curse David. Who shall he then say, wherefore hast thou done so? And David said unto Abishai and to all the servants, behold, my son which cometh forth of my bowels seek my life. How much more now may this Benjamite do it? Let him alone, and let him curse, for Elohim has bidden him. It may be that Elohim will look on my affliction, and that Elohim may requite me good for his cursing this day. And as David and his men went by the way, Shimei went along on the hillside over against him, and cursed as he went, and threw stones at him, and cursed dust, and cast dust. I like that. Cast dust. And the king and all the people that were with him came weary and refreshing themselves there. Think about Shimei, man. This dude, man, you bloody king. Throwing stones, man. Kissing dust, man. Kicking dust up in the air like that. And all the mighty King David, all the mighty men on the right hand and left hand, all the people knew who King David was. Knew who he was. And you was Shimei? From the household of Saul? Talking about, yeah, Absalom gonna get this thing. You're talking all kind of junk to the king. Consequences, man. Who gives you right anyway? Remember, did King David do that to King Saul? He didn't touch it. Man, that was consequences, man. That was Yah's anointed. King David was anointed of Yah. Who gives you the right to speak against Yah's anointed anyway? Like we said, we already talked about Mary and Aaron. Consequences, what happened now? We're going to talk about Musa. You don't talk about the man of Yah like that. Same with Korah, Nathan, and Abram, Abiam, whatever his name is. Talk about Musa on the ground, took down. Consequences is happening now. Okay? Now let's go back. Let's go talk to 1 Kings chapter 2. Wait a minute. No, let me go back and finish this part. I got to finish this part when it comes back. I think it's chapter 17. Alright, excuse me, chapter 19. Yeah, 2 Samuel chapter 19. Verse 14. And he bowed, let's go to, verse 11. And King David sent to Zodok and to Abiathar the priest, saying, speaking to the elders of Judah, saying, why are you the last to bring the king back into the house, seeing the speech of all Israel has come to the king, even to his house? You are my brethren, you are my bones and my flesh. Wherefore then are you last to bring back the king? And saying ye to the Amazah, art thou not of my bones and of my flesh? Yah do so to me, and more also, if thou be not captain of the host before me continually in the room of Joab. And he bowed the heart of all the men of Judah, even as the heart of one man, so that they sent this word unto the king, return thou and all thy servant. So the king returned and came to Jordan, and Judah came to Gilgal to go to meet the king, to conduct the king over Jordan. And Shimei, the son of Gera, a Benjamite, which was on Bohra, hastened and came down with the men of Judah to meet King David. And there were 1,000 men of Benjamin with him, and Ziba, the servant of the house of Saul,